Hello, savvy Sagittarius, and welcome to your May horoscope. Thank you for joining me today. You've got a lot going on to do with your well-being and your health generally, and also your everyday routine in May. So let's get into it and find out what the stars have in store for you. Firstly, on the 4th of the month, the new moon joins the sun and Uranus in your sixth house of everyday routine and health. Okay, so the sun's already there. This is going to give you awareness, maybe some insights into some niggling problems if you have any. You might have sort of some brilliant revelation of what you could do to improve how you feel physically, okay? And that also goes for your everyday routine. For example, if you were getting up and walking at 6 a.m., you might decide to change things around a bit and walk at 6 p.m. for some reason. So there's like a rejigging or tweaking of, your normal routine. Okay, on the 7th of the month, Mercury also comes into your sixth house, and on the 16th of the month, Venus also comes into your sixth house. So they're having quite a celebration in there. And with Uranus there, Uranus often gives us unpredictable scenarios. It's a very sort of volatile energy, but it need not necessarily be in a negative way. It can be quite positive. So it's often like Uranus is like a bolt out of the blue. So you might find out, a friend might tell you, for example, oh, if you do this, this, and this, go and see this woman. She'll be able to help you with your health. It's like almost like grace is operating, and you can get unexpected results. Okay, so you're probably going to go through a lot of change in your everyday routine throughout May. If you're in Australia, we're coming to the end of autumn and getting ready for winter. So it is a time with the season to sort of calm down and be reflective and looking at meditation and going within and trying to find out what's really happening inside us. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you'll be moving into summer. And so hopefully you've planted some seeds and you'll be getting ready to harvest things. And I'm talking metaphorically, not literally, although you may well be planting seeds to grow a garden or something. But spiritually speaking, our rewards that come to us come with the seasons. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, the first half of the month, Mars is in your 7th house of committed relationships. This is different to sort of a casual type liaison. The 7th house is a house of important relationships, and not just personal or romantic relationships. They can also be business partnerships or things that you do with work, associates and colleagues. And so Mars going in there gives you a lot of inspiration and motivation to achieve things in your relationship. So maybe if you're in charge of a team or a group of people and it's very important to you, that might be affected as well. After the 16th, Mars then moves into the 8th house, which is all about shared resources, intimacy, sex, hidden things, taboos. It's ruled by Scorpio, and with Mars there, your desires, let's say your desires are going to come to the forefront, and you'll be really going out, really feeling very motivated to get whatever desires you have, to get them in the physical world. So it's also the house of other people's money. So it can cover things like inheritances, taxes. In Australia, we say superannuation. I believe in the States that's called 401k. So it's your money, but it's held by somebody else on your behalf, because apparently governments think that we can't manage our own money. And they don't want to pay out when we're old, even though we may have been paying taxes all our lives. There's all these rules and regulations around it. But So there's some consideration, there's some energy or activity there to do with other people's money. You might also go for a loan or a mortgage or a personal loan also. So, and you're likely to get money coming back to you from other people. Okay, so the 18th sees the full moon in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is the house of the subconscious, or the goddess, or the divine, whatever terminology you want to use. And to see a full moon there would be like having changes coming up out of your subconscious for you to deal with. So with that, it would be really good to spend some quiet time alone. Don't get distracted by your computer or your mobile phone or life or the kids or whatever. You really need to have time out alone for meditation and self-reflection. It's supposed to be a time of silence, okay? And I know that's hard, but there'll be changes coming up. So you'll become aware through your dreams and the little sort of subtleties that float across your mind. And if you're clairvoyant or you have the ability to, see, or perhaps if you don't know anything about the metaphysical realms, you might probably understand it as your learning style. So if you learn through seeing things, that would indicate that you're likely to see more coming out of your subconscious at that time. Some people learn kinesthetically, so they feel with their body. So that would be kind of like correlating to being clairsentient. You would feel spiritual energy with your body. And some people hear better when they're learning. They need to hear it rather than see it, or rather than do it. So that would be like being clairaudient. So whatever your learning style is, or whatever your psychic abilities are, if you have some psychic abilities, that's likely to come up to the fore when the full moon goes into your 12th house on the 18th. Okay. On the 22nd, Venus and Mercury also go into your 7th house of committed relationships. So that gives a lovely energy for contentment, a harmonious sort of flow of communication between both partners, which is lovely. Mercury is all about communication, and Venus sort of gives an appreciation of love and art and beautiful things. And so you have those energies there in the committed relationship zone. So and as I said before, that's for important relationships. It's not so much to do with casual situations where you've just met somebody, dear Sag. Okay, so Jupiter continues in your 1st house, and Jupiter's been there for some time and will continue until December. So it's the planet of abundance. So in your 1st house, it's more about you becoming authentically you. And when we go from like the 12th house into the 1st house, and it's the start of a brand new cycle for you, dear Sag. So that's really exciting, because you're starting a new, well, not really starting a new cycle, you're in a cycle, but Jupiter brings that out more. Okay, and you have Saturn and Pluto continuing in your 2nd house, and that's the house of your values, and that could include finances. So please be careful with your money, because often these two planets together, they'll cause delays or obstacles around finances. Now, let's have a look at our psychological cards and see what we can possibly see. I'll just close my eyes. Now, the first thing I see is like a fence. And when I close my eyes, and that suggests like boundaries, putting up boundaries. So it's up to you. We do need boundaries sometimes, and especially when you're dealing there in the 12th house, you probably don't want to be interrupted, so you need a boundary there. But when you're trying to get to the information that's down there in your subconscious, you don't want a boundary. So you want a thinning of the veils, a thinning of the layers, so you can get right down deep inside your own energy. So I'll leave that with you to sort out, but that's what I saw, a fence. Okay, first one I've got up is an apology is in order. Now, let's just find out a little bit about that, if that's to do with someone apologizing to you or you apologizing to somebody else. Sagittarius, May 2019. Yeah, and when I close my eyes, then I see a forest and I get the words, you can't see the wood for the trees. So for some of you, there's a situation where it's very confusing and unclear, and you're not sure what to do. Well, this is very interesting too. Okay, so that's the policeman, or could be a policewoman, maybe. Looks like a man, but whatever. Okay, so an apology. Do the authorities need to apologise to you for anything? Have they let you down in the past? I certainly had that experience myself. So that's something you can work on. Or do you need to apologise for something that you've done? But it concerns the law, and that represents human law, not natural law. So natural law, LORE, is really the most important law, but we don't want to fall foul of the human laws either. We could get into trouble. But yeah, give that some consideration. So, wishing you a very magical manifesting month, and I look forward to next month doing the horoscopes again for you, dear Sagittarius. If you've liked this video, please like it, and I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, which I'm just going to get started, because even though I've been on here 12 years, I haven't done that much. And click the notification bell for updates of when I'm doing things, because I will be doing a lot more now. Okay, have a wonderful month, Sagittarians, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and bye for now.